Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about helping you attain your goals. Now, when I sit with clients, they typically have three main objectives, three main goals. It doesn't matter the question, generally, it's whether it be a life insurance investment or a financial plan. It usually falls under three categories. And we're going to talk about those three categories generally and how clients can attain those goals, achieve those goals with different strategies. Let's go. So the first challenge that clients have is the issue of clarity. They are uncertain about where they are. They may be uncertain about where they're going to go. They may be uncertain about how much they need to save, uncertain of the rate of return they need to achieve. Just a sense of not even being sure of what they have. And not even if they have a sense of what they have, what I've seen is they have a sense of what they have. They may even in some sense know exactly how much they should have, but sometimes they're just skeptical about retirement on a whole, what to expect. And for many retirees, the challenge is they go from having one source of income and they get to retirement, and once they're in retirement they have multiple sources of income. You have their regular private pensions, they may have their government pensions, they may also have their registered funds, they may have non-registered funds, they may have cash, and they may even be working a bit part-time because they want to stay active. That's multiple sources of income. And how do you deal with that? How it's taxed? What's the most tax efficient? Is there a potential clawback? In certain instances there is. So the first one is the clarity, just a clarity of, okay, this is what lies ahead. I have no idea how to deal with this. Could you bring some clarity to this? Could you show me a sense, give me a snapshot of what it would look like, right? And that's exactly what a financial plan is. A financial plan is a snapshot, not a prophecy. I always tell clients that because many cases they, what you don't want is just take this paper and go, okay, this is it. I'm going to live happily ever after because of what's on this document. No, because things change, times change, inflation goes up, inflation goes down. And the laws change also, so that may affect how you are how things are in the long run. However, what the plan does is it gives you updated snapshots. So if you're constantly updating your plan, updated snapshots of what will happen for you now and in the future. Okay, so what's the next thing? Time. A lot of people aim for more time in their lives. They might be thinking, time, why would anyone go to a financial planner for time? It's not that a financial planner is God, you can stop time. No, that's not the case, but depending on the plan and depending on the strategies, we could potentially help individuals with getting to retirement earlier, right? And that's because we look at your entire situation. And we're gonna speak more to that. So the first one is clarity, the challenge of clarity, time, especially if you're a professional or a business owner and you may be doing this thing for several years and you're at the point now where you're saying, you know what, I've given this several decades, I'm at my wit's end. I love what I did, or I hate what I did in terms of a career and job or business, and I'm at the point now where I just want to stop. And if you're at that point, you may want to go, say, okay, is there a possibility I could stop now, or what steps could I take to stop earlier? So we're going to talk about that. And the last one is, of course, clients come to me, and in many cases they say, okay, frankly, we just need to make more money. Is there any way you could help us with that? And the different strategies of doing that, we're going to talk about that briefly. So now that we have identified the three big pain points that generally my clients have, which is clarity, time, and money, we're going to talk about how I help clients to achieve their goals, to get more clarity, more time, and more money. Okay, let's look at clarity. Well, a financial plan helps with clarity in that it looks at where do you want to go, what's important to you, your values, and that is both at a financial level or at just a everyday level in terms of what's important to you, the big activities you want to take part in, and maybe there's a cost associated with that if you want to travel, or maybe it just means volunteering, maybe it means working part-time, so there's more income coming into the family, right? But the bottom line is we take a look at where do you want to go. Once we establish where do you want to go, then we take a look at where you are. And just like a GPS, we look at all the different paths that we could take from where you are now to where you need to go. And based on what makes the most sense for you, we decide on that path and we move along. No, is that a fixed path? No, it's not. Just like using Waze, or it's just like using some type of a GPS, Google Maps, or whatever you use. It might get updated. There might be a faster route that comes about, or it might be something comes up, an emergency comes up, and we have to push retirement back a little bit. All right, so it all depends. But the bottom line is you at least have some sense of, this is the path that I'm going on, and this is the focus. And as humans, that drives us. Knowing that we have a particular path that we need to take, that drives us in terms of the actions we take, and it keeps us focused. If we were saying, okay, I'm going to drive from, say you're in Toronto and you want to drive to Florida. Okay, you may have a sense of direction and you're just driving along, but it's quite different when you have a GPS that's guiding you along the way. In both instances, you may get to Florida, but chances are, if you've never driven to Florida before, you want the one with the GPS. And that's what financial planning does. It brings clarity. The clarity, by the way, brings a certain sense of peace in that you know what the expectations are, and as things come about, you know how to deal with them. If you don't have that clarity, what usually comes along with that is anxiety. The anxiety of, okay, I'm not sure what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm not sure how much I should put away, or what if this happens? How am I going to deal with that? So now the important thing with financial plan is that you could stress test a financial plan. What I mean by that, you could throw different situations in the financial plan, and you could ultimately see what actions you take should those situations come about. When I sit with clients, we're looking at various options, and we're just, we're going through each one, and we're seeing this, that we're throwing different combinations. So clients start to get a sense of, oh, if I did this is what I need to do, and probably I save more, or maybe I work later, or it could be I look for another job. We have all these variables, and it's a lot. I'm not gonna say it's endless, but it's a lot when you're looking at a financial plan and all the different strategies, especially if you start having some assets. All right. Next one is time. Well, a well-structured retirement plan, which falls under a financial plan, may help you to achieve your goals sooner. And that's because with the focus that comes from having a plan in place, for one, you're going to take more efficient steps. In addition to taking more efficient steps, what you're also going to be doing is you're also going to be staying on top of things. So there's a certain accountability that goes with that. Consider this: if you've ever gone to the gym, or if you've ever been an athlete, you could have the exact work routine, you could have the equipment, you could have the track, everything could be completely laid out, and somebody says, here, you have 6 months, and in 6 months you're going to train for a particular track meet. Okay, and you say, okay, in 6 months I'm going to train for that track meet, and I'm going to stay on top of it. It's quite different if you're doing that by yourself, at least for most people. It's quite different than if you were there with a coach who's stepping outside, kind of seeing from the outside what you're doing, and giving you a heads up on, slight mistakes that you're making, or help you close those gaps in terms of your exercises, or just mistakes that you may be doing. So that's where the financial plan comes in, and work with a financial planner. Similar situation where the financial planner is like a coach, where we're seeing things from a different perspective, and we're seeing them from a different situation, and we're just looking at your overall financial situation, and we're making suggestions on things you could do to get there faster. You are the star athlete, that's for sure, and you're the one that's running the race, but we're there as coaches. Consider this: the fastest human being, is Usain Bolt, has a world record. And as phenomenal as Usain Bolt is, he would not have been able to do it without a coach, right? Because as much as he has absolutely amazing raw talent, someone had to be there to point out his gaps and to help him see things that he would not see himself. So that's what's the important thing about time. A well-structured retirement plan from the coaching aspect will provide that. But outside of the coaching aspect, there are just different things. There's just different situations that couldn't be created. Part of doing the plan is we have all these different suggestions on things that could be done, whether it be increasing income, whether it be selling a property, whether it be purchasing a property. There are all these different situations. Maybe it is, potentially changing a career and working part-time. And these are conversations, not strictly numbers conversations, but these conversations are working through the situation, allows clients to get a sense of, okay, what's possible beyond just what the numbers say, and that's what a good financial planner will bring to the table. All right. Or you may have, be on track for a certain, retire at a certain date, but you want to get there earlier. Well, if a good financial planner also, here are other ways that we could generate income. So, or if not themselves, they have a network of professionals that they could bring in. Because that's another thing. As a financial planner, I always look at it almost like you're the personal CFO, and a client is the CEO. And as a CFO, you bring a team together while watching the numbers. So you may not be doing everything. In fact, you are not doing everything. You bring a lawyer in if you need a will. If we need to revisit the mortgage, then we bring a mortgage broker in. If we need to purchase investment property, then we're going to have a realtor. So whatever is needed, we bring all that to the table, and we build an entire team around you and around your situation. And all of that from an efficient standpoint versus just you working by yourself increases the time, right? And manage expectations and have accountability. Now, what's the last thing? The last thing that clients usually want generally is just more money. And of course, tax planning is a huge part of it. Huge part of it. And it makes all the difference when you've taken your hard-earned dollars and you put them in a tax-efficient vehicle versus an inefficient vehicle. Because here's the thing. It's quite different than if you put your money in something that's, for example, tax-free than something that's taxed every year. No, there may be instances where you want to get taxed every year, for example, like a non-registered, because you could deduct the interest if it makes sense. And there might be circumstances where you want to put it in a tax-free vehicle because tax-free, that just usually makes a lot of sense. So the bottom line is, yes, there's opportunity for tax planning and getting more money, and another thing to remember, it's not just about just saving on taxes, because at the end of the day, we gotta start off with clarity, and what's the most important to you is that it's the foundation aspect of things. So we can't just make decisions just for tax decisions, but after we've made our decisions, we have the values and we see what's important, what's in place, then we look at the most tax efficient way after we have established our goals, after we establish the clarity, after we establish where we want to go, then we look at the most tax efficient way to do that. And if you're not looking at the most tax efficient way, depending on your situation, it could be tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even millions, depending on your net worth, right? So generally, these are the three challenges that clients typically have. And these are the three ways that I have helped clients in that class. Hopefully this was helpful, and looking forward to talking further with you in other videos. Thank you.